U1a3 is about the internal memory inside your computer, and that's the temporary storage. This is not the hard disk, the long-term storage, but the RAM, the temporary memory. There's a picture of what a RAM chip looks like, and RAM is short-term memory. When you turn off the computer, the RAM memory disappears. So that means it needs constant power in order to work. But RAM, of course, is wonderfully fast, and it's the temporary storage that the computer is always using to store the data it needs the most. The more RAM you have, the better for video editing. You just can't have enough RAM to really be good at video editing. Check the software requirements for the video editing software that you'd like to buy. It'll say on the box somewhere what the minimum hardware requirements are, including the minimum amount of memory, but you're better off going for the maximum amount of memory. How much memory does this software benefit from? So, just a couple of notes about video. I already mentioned you need a lot of storage capacity. Let's look at some numbers. We're going to crunch these numbers a little bit more specifically in another lesson, but just off the top of our head, if our video is HD, 1920 by 1280, 1080 HD, we're talking 2,457,000 pixels for one frame. And when you're working at 30 frames per second, it gets up to 73 million pixels pretty quickly. That's a lot of data that you've got to worry about, or excuse me, your computer has to worry about it. We don't have to worry about it at all because the computer's job is to keep up with all this. We just need to give it the hardware it needs. And that's for every second of video. And so if you want to watch some video, that's how much data is flying through the processor and the RAM and the hard drive of your computer just because you're trying to watch some video. Imagine when you're watching video, that's 30 pictures flashing on the screen every second. Each picture is up to 2 million pixels, and that's a lot of pixels that are represented by bits inside the computer, bits of data streaming back and forth from the hard drive where the video is stored into the RAM for temporary storage where the processor can process it, the graphics card and the video card can process it, send it out to the monitor, and then pull it back from the monitor and replace it with the next frame 30 times per second, a lot. So that's why you need all the high-end hardware for a really good video project. So like I said, you're constantly refreshing, pulling, that's what the summary of that said.